In the East lands, far, far away, there was a poor but kind-hearted young boy named Aladdin. This young man would do anything to help his lovely mother. And in the magnificent palace of the country, the Sultan had a beautiful daughter. Her name was Jasmine. Jasmine was in abundance, but very lonely. So much so that her only friend in the palace was a tiny, colorful hummingbird named Wren. Sometimes Jasmine was covering her face with a veil and going to the market. Thus, she was walking among the people and forgetting her loneliness for a moment. One day, Aladdin set out to work with a shovel in his hand. On the way, he saw a man standing by the well.
Hey, boy! Can you help me?
Yes, of course, sir. Whatever I can.
Do you see this gold in my hand? If you do what I tell you, so much more can be yours.
Aladdin agreed to help the man.
I dropped something in the well. I'm going to swing a rope down, and I want you to pick it up and bring it back to me.
Aladdin looked into the well. It was a dark well with no bottom visible. Even though he was very afraid, he went down by holding on to the rope for the gold the man had promised. When he reached the bottom of the well, he took a match from his pocket and lit it. At that moment, he saw that the black well was shining with sparkling jewels.
Boy! There is an old lamp there! Just take it and come!
Aladdin found the old lamp the man was talking about, but he didn't understand why the man wanted to take this shabby lamp out of all the gold and jewelry. Then he grabbed onto the rope and barely started climbing up.
Let me hold the lamp so you can come out more easily.
As soon as Aladdin gave the lamp in his hand, the man let go of the rope in his hand.
Oh no!
Aladdin caught the end of the lamp in panic.
Let go of my lamp! Let go!
No way! No! I can't let go! I'll fall!
While the man was trying to save his lamp, Aladdin and lamp together fell to the bottom of the well with a great noise.
No! My lamp! My lamp!
Although Aladdin tried to get out of the well when he regained consciousness, he could not succeed. He waited for days for someone to help him, but no one passed by. Aladdin was helpless. He lit a match and looked around in fear. Then he saw a ring on the ground. When he put the ring on his finger, the lights surrounded him.
The owner of the ring is my master. You have only 3 wishes. Say whatever you want from me.
I want to get out of this well now.
The giant fulfilled Aladdin's wish. Aladdin ran home with the lamp in his hand. Just then, he collided with Jasmine, who was wandering around the market. When Jasmine's veil was opened, Aladdin did not know what to say in the face of the beauty he saw.
Oh, excuse me. I'm in a hurry. I'm sorry!
Aladdin walked away without knowing who she was. But Jasmine, who was looking behind him, fell in love with Aladdin at first sight. Arriving at home out of breath, Aladdin told his mother everything that had happened. And his mother wanted to clean this useless lamp and sell it. But while she was wiping the top of the lamp, smoke suddenly covered everything, and a genie appeared out of the smoke.
I was in that lamp for so long! Since you saved me, ask whatever you want from me.
Aladdin and his mother looked at each other bewilderedly.
I want a wonderful table, flowing with milk and honey.
Suddenly, a perfect table with all kinds of food appeared in front of them. Within a few months, Aladdin and his mother became very rich, thanks to the genie. All this time, Aladdin's mind was on that beautiful girl he had collided with in the market. On the other hand, the Sultan learned that his daughter Jasmine was secretly going to the market and imprisoned her in her room. Jasmine, on the other hand, spent her days in the room dreaming of Aladdin. After a while, the Sultan learned of Aladdin's wealth. The Sultan summoned him to the palace to find out the reason for this wealth.
Your Majesty, your request is a command to me.
I heard that you have a legendary wealth. I ask you for a magnificent palace and 40 soldiers with their hands full of gold. Let's see if you're as rich as they say.
While leaving the palace with thoughts, Aladdin met eyes with Jasmine and realized that this beautiful princess was the girl he had collided with in the market. He immediately went away to make a wish to the genie. Siren, it was him! He was the boy I met at the market! Jasmine ran and begged on bended knee. My Sultan, my father, I fell in love with this man. I want to marry him and live happily ever after.
Wait for a while. My wishes haven't been fulfilled yet.
Aladdin excitedly told the Sultan's wishes to the genie. The genie snapped his fingers, and a huge palace, 40 soldiers, and a chest of gold appeared in front of them.
Thank you so much! That way, maybe I can marry Jasmine.
The next day, Aladdin arrived at the palace with 40 soldiers behind him. When the Sultan saw the soldiers and the gifts in front of them, he was very impressed by this wealth, and he told Aladdin that he could marry his daughter. The next week, Aladdin and Jasmine got married with a magnificent wedding. One day, when Aladdin was not at home, a salesman came to the palace.
I pick your waist! I'm a waist picker! Waist picker!
Hearing this, Jasmine threw the old lamp in the house to the salesman through the window. But this salesman was the evil man who left Aladdin in the well. As soon as he took the lamp, he stroked it and asked the genie to carry the palace far away with the princess. The genie did what the man wanted. When Aladdin returned, he saw that the palace and the princess were not in their place.
My princess! My palace! Where did they disappear? Where are you?
Aladdin thought of the ring he found in the well. He immediately put the ring on his finger, and at that moment, the surrounding was covered with lights, and a giant appeared in the middle.
What is your request from me? You only have 2 wishes left.
Aladdin wished to go to Jasmine. The giant clapped his hands, and Aladdin found himself on a flying carpet.
The carpet will take you to Jasmine.
Indeed, the flying carpet took him to his palace in the middle of the desert. Aladdin got off the carpet and hid somewhere. And he saw that Jasmine was serving the bad guy, and the lamp was in the man's lap. Aladdin put the ring on his finger again and made his last wish.
I want you to turn this villain into a bird, giant.
The giant fulfilled this wish, and the man immediately turned into a bird. Aladdin rushed to Jasmine right away and hugged her. Aladdin took the old lamp in his hand and stroked it, and and asked the genie to move the palace to the old place.
Of course, my lord!
The palace returned to its former place by flying in the sky. While Aladdin and Jasmine were dancing, thinking that their happiness would last forever, the lamp fell on the ground. They were not yet aware that the genie had slipped away from the cracked edge of the lamp.
In a land far, far away, there was a princess with long red hair. This princess had a beautiful flower garden. The red roses especially were giving great happiness to the princess. In the evening, when the people in the country went to bed to fall asleep, the Rose Princess would go out to the balcony of the palace and clap her hands 3 times. Hearing this sound, a tiny golden bird flew into the Rose Princess's hand. And at that moment, the princess's hair began to shine brightly. The cute bird began to sing beautifully. And the princess was singing a lullaby with her velvet voice.
Close your eyes tonight.
Everyone who heard this beautiful lullaby of the princess would slowly close their eyes and fall asleep immediately.
It's time to say goodnight.
Sweet dreams and good night, beautiful people of my country. While the nights were passing in peace and joy thanks to the Rose Princess, one day, a witch with a pointed hat and scowling came to the palace of the Rose Princess with a flying broom.
La da 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 da.
I can't stand this princess singing anymore! I'm fed up! The frowning witch decided to cast an evil spell on the princess. Alakazam! Palakazam! Let the roses wither! Let the Rose Princess be silent! At that moment, the princess's hair turned into black as coal black. What's going on with my hair? They're all black! And it's now bedtime! Ugh. The princess with her black hair went out to the balcony to sing a lullaby to her people. She clapped her hands 3 times. The golden little bird flew again and landed in her hand. Rose Princess's black hair was shining again. Although the princess wondered what happened to her red hair, she started to sing her lullaby with the bird.
Close your eyes tonight.
Everyone in the country fell into a deep sleep. But instead of good dreams, they had terrible nightmares. There were even children who woke up crying.
Mommy!
Ugh! I had a very scary dream.
I don't want to sleep at night anymore. My dreams are so scary.
So are mine.
In the evening of the next day, the Rose Princess, who learned that her people were having nightmares, went back to her balcony and called her golden little bird. My little bird, my people are tired of having nightmares. Help me to heal their dreams before morning.
Let the roses make your hair smile. Do-ee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Let the roses make your hair smile. Do-ee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Roses make my hair smile? With the bird's advice, the princess filled a large tub with water. She also put a handful of red rose petals in it. The water has turned red. The princess dipped her hair in this water. The hair turned red at that very moment. Roses made my hair smile. The little bird was telling the truth. Hooray! That night, when the princess sang a lullaby,
Close your eyes tonight.
everyone in the country slept peacefully
Until morning light.
and had beautiful dreams. Realizing that the spell she had cast on the Rose Princess was broken, the frowning witch got angry and cursed her once again.
Alakazam! Palakazam! Let the roses wither! Let the Rose Princess be silent!
Then she withered all the rosebuds in the country and fled. Rose Princess was very upset when she saw that her hair was coal black again. Oh, no way! Again? What is happening to me? The princess asked her assistants to bring rose petals immediately to fix her hair. However, the assistants could not find even a single rose in the garden or the country. What am I gonna do now, little bird? Tell me, huh?
Let the roses make your hair smile. Do-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
But there's not even a single rose in the whole country. Wait, don't go! Rose Princess was so upset that she started to cry loudly. The tears flowing from her eyes have fallen to the ground. At that time, there was a young and handsome man passing through the palace garden. When this young man saw the tears falling to the ground, he took out a box from his pocket, and inside there was a thin red strand of hair. Left the strand of red hair on the tears on the ground. A strand of red hair turned into a sparkling red rose in an instant. The handsome man took the rose and went to the princess. The princess, who was sadly standing by the bathtub full of water, was very excited when she saw the handsome man entering. You! I remember you!
Yes, I am, your childhood friend. This flower is for you. Please accept it, my Rose Princess.
The princess was so happy when she saw the red rose her childhood friend brought her. Immediately after, she threw the rose into the tub. She then dipped her hair in water. And finally, the witch's curse was broken. That coal black hair has turned red again. Seeing the happiness of his daughter, the king was very curious.
Young man, please tell me, how did you find this rose when there was not a single rose left in the whole country? This rose was formed with the sad tears of our princess and a strand of her red hair that I kept since childhood. My dear king, my loyalty is endless.
That's right, Daddy. Look, I've been keeping a strand of his hair in this box for years too. The king was impressed by the loyalty of both the princess and the young man. Thus, the Rose Princess and her childhood friend, the handsome man, got married the very next day. Realizing that her curse was broken by the power of love, the witch realized that she could never win again and flew to the lands far, far away.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land lived a prince. It was now time for the prince to wed, but unfortunately, his princess was nowhere to be found. In order to find his princess, he travelled all around the world. all the princesses in the neighbouring kingdoms visited the king's castle to meet the prince. But the prince was having a hard time trying to pick the right one. His father, the king, wanted his son to wed a real princess. After trying for so many years, he lost all hope in finding the right princess. Sad, hopeless, and deep in his thoughts, the prince continued to live his life. The king and queen were indeed very sad at this situation. Another sad night, as he sat there thinking, a big storm began. Lightning was striking and the sound of the thunder was echoing in the castle. The prince was having a hard time trying to sleep as he watched the lightning strike from his window. But on the other hand, he couldn't help but think about his future princess. Amongst all the noise in the castle, one of the servants realized that the door was knocking. She opened the door and noticed a shivering young girl that was drenched from the rain. Amongst the state the poor young girl was in, she still looked very beautiful and elegant, and with great difficulty she spoke. "Will you take me in, please? I'm all alone. I got lost in the woods." The servant felt sorry for her, and so she ran and gave the news to the king and queen.
"We cannot refuse to take in a visitor at this hour of the night. Take her in."
The king quickly let the guards know of the situation and ordered them. The guards took the girl in the castle's living room and sat her in front of the fireplace. Seeing the girl's clothes drenched in water, the queen ordered the servants so that they bring some appropriate clothing for the girl. All alone with the girl, the queen asked, "At this hour and in this weather, may I ask what it is that you're looking for?" "I'm a princess from a faraway land. My castle has been attacked by my enemies. In order to protect me, Mother and Father secretly sent me away with 2 soldiers, but once it was midnight, due to the storm, we lost each other, and here I am. I found your castle. Thank you so much for taking me in." The queen found it hard to believe, but even so found it harder to send her away from the castle. The prince was curious to see who this mysterious girl was. He wanted to meet her. At that point, the girl was wearing the dress the queen had given her. Her hair had dried, and she was feeling more like herself now. Now that she looked much more elegant and beautiful, as the prince entered the room, he couldn't believe the beauty and elegance and was mesmerized by her presence. But still, he wanted to know for sure that she was indeed a princess. The queen told the prince that she was going to handle the situation and find out if she was a real princess. "Is she a real princess? We will find out tonight." The prince and princess chatted away the whole night. The prince, as fond as he was of this girl, he was trying to get to know her better. The queen got the guest's room ready for the young girl, and she placed a pea under her bed and covered it with 7 mattresses. The young girl slept in this strange bed that was prepared for her that night. The following morning, the queen waited for the young girl to wake up, and when she did, she asked her, "Did you sleep well last night?" "I'm very fortunate that you gave me shelter, but I had great difficulty trying to sleep." "Oh, really? I wonder why. May I ask why?" "My body is in pain. My back aches. It was as if the whole night I had slept on something really hard." This is the exact answer the queen was looking for. She knew that only a princess could feel such discomfort coming through a bed covered in 7 layers of mattresses. She went next to the prince and explained all that happened. Hearing all of this, and finally knowing that she was a real princess, the prince couldn't hide his happiness. He told the king that he would like to wed the princess, and so the king accepted his son's offer to marry the princess. The prince asked that the princess stay in his castle for a few more days until the war was over in her kingdom. In fact, he sent out his own troops to help save her country. And soon later, the prince proposed to the princess.
Will you marry me, my princess?
And as soon as he got his answer, they lived happily ever after.